I feel like I need a lot of help on the clarity part. I want to open a business, but then I say that I have a big motive and all this stuff, but I still need help on the clarity
You're
side.
able to start again. It happened to me numerous of times where I tried to set a goal for myself and I didn't complete the goal. I didn't have enough leverage. I wasn't being intentional and intentionally. So what I did is I looked at what was my downfall, and a lot of that is reflecting. And then what I did after that was start again. Maybe make my goal easier or more
Okay,
reachable.
so I'm in learning and self development, and I only had three things filled out, and I ended up filling out one more, and it's for commitment. And how I'm gonna interrupt bad thoughts and interrupt negative emotions, and I'm gonna do this every day. And my support team, coaches, Telegram group, and I'm gonna set alarms 2 times a day to see how my um, energy was throughout the day, and look back and see like what could I have done different, what could I have done at, if I felt down or I had fear, um, to help me with that.
So we're talking about self mastery, right? And this is the first thing, the intention and energy. So as high achievers, we're constantly going through different transitions, especially if you have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of projects, different businesses, kids, friends, family, engagements, different things going on that you're juggling. So we have to get quick in changing our focus and being able to transition to those things quickly in the right way so that you keep your focus, your momentum, and your motivation. Okay? Dealing with the transitions, going from one place to another. So release tension, set intention. Release tension, set intention. So what does that look like? Okay, so I mean, this is very, very simple and very practical, guys. So you're on the phone call, right? You're making a phone call with the client or something, or with a family member. Yeah, okay. You hang up. You're gonna make another phone call. Okay. You need to intentionally, on purpose, you're gonna, in your mind, this is mindset. So you're gonna set your mind on this next phone call, and you need to set your mind on it in a certain way. So you're done with this phone call. So release tension. You need to tell your brain, okay, brain, you're done with that conversation. It's closed. You did a good job there. You can give yourself some applause, give yourself some affirmation, some love, some encouragement, some data boy. You can, seriously, you can do these things all day, and it's food for your soul. Why not? Right? So you tell yourself that, and you be like, okay, so now this is what you're going to do, brain. You have to freaking type this in. Like you're programming a system, like you're programming. You gotta code it. You got to do the work, right? So this is you setting the intention, you assembling what you want in your imagination first, setting the intention. So the quicker I learn how to do this, like this becomes like a natural thing. Like at first it's like, okay, oh yeah, I need to do this. Oh yeah, I need to do this. Oh yeah, then all of a sudden it becomes who you are. You see this whole program? That's how it's designed in three big, right now I'm going to break it down in 5 phases, like in of growth, and I'm bringing my big, how I believe growth is, in my big 3 phases, and I'm breaking them up into 5 smaller ones to make it more practical. So the big 3 phases: to know, to do, to be. To know, to do, to be. First, you got to know. You got to get some clarity, some understanding. You got to learn, whether that's the research. First, you know, right? And then you got to apply what you learned. You got to do. And as you're doing and doing it over and over, you start to get better at it. It starts to get, so good at it where you're not even thinking about it anymore. It's like automatic, like tying your shoe. First you didn't know how to tie your shoe, and then you first had to know. Somebody had to say, hey, look, you get one and you get the other and you cross it and you go under, and they maybe even did a little song for you, told you about a bunny and bunny ears, right? To help you to know how. And then what? Then they said, okay, you do it now. You try it. And you would mess up and do it wrong and pull it out, and you would do it over and over until you got it down. Now you've done it so much to where you don't even need to think about it. You can be talking to somebody else, doing something else, tie your shoe, because now it's to know you did it, and now it's to be, to know, to do, to be. Now it just becomes a part of who you are, where you're doing it, you're benefiting from it without even trying. That's the highest place to learn something. When you fully live it out and it's a part of your lifestyle where you're not even trying anymore, but you're benefiting from it. It no longer costs you to do it because it's so integrated into your programming. You've integrated it so deep that you no longer have to try to wake up in a good mood and get your workout in. Like, you no longer have to try to do that. You no longer have to pump yourself up to make phone calls, because you're like, I don't make, like, you don't have to do, because you've done such deep programming over and over to where your brain just freaking knows. You can even set anchors and like little triggers, in your phone, alarms, like for me, doorways, frames, like every time I walk through a door, it's a trigger for me. I program my brain to tell me, hey, you are powerful, loving, and inspiring. Every time I walk through a door, I have programmed my brain to be triggered. Every time I go through a door frame, because every time I walk into a room, every time I'm going to go to a meeting, every time I'm going to show up to my family, I'm going to show up powerful, inspiring, and loving. And I've programmed that in my brain on purpose, with the purpose, so I can set my mind right as I'm going, because this is part of me setting my clear intentions. So as we do transition, guys, we're from one call to another. You need to be like, okay, this is done, brain. Now let me tell you what this next call is going to be about, who this is, and what we're going to get out of it. Set a clear intention, even if it's a 5-minute freaking phone call. I'm not saying to sit down for an hour and just, how is this phone call going to go? Man, let me take notes. Let me write a diagram. I'm not talking about that, right? Like, this is freaking quick. This is quick. Release the tension. Okay, brain, that's done. You're going to call this person right now. You're going to be calling Eddie. All right, you're going to be calling Eddie about this program. What's the main objection? What objective? What's the goal that I want out of this conversation? I want Eddie to understand fully what the program is, and for any questions to be answered, and for him to be feeling like a part of the team. That's my goal. Okay, in order for me to achieve that goal, that's my intention, right? Now I need to connect the right energy. And to achieve that goal, what energy do I need? What kind of energy do I need to create to be able to meet that goal, right? So me understanding, Eddie, me understanding, encouragement, like I'm going to come at him with a certain tone, with a certain energy, right? You guys getting this? So intention and energy. Here's another one. Entrepreneurs, business owners, high achievers, you go from, working, grinding, right? You're working and grinding, and then you go home to family. Whether you have a partner or not, you have family, loved ones, right? You went from work to loved ones. That's a big, really important transition. Okay? Because you don't want to be the type of high achiever, high performer that allows the people that they love the most to be getting your seconds in your energy. Like, if we're not intentional, guys, we're going to work really hard, and we're doing it for our families even. We're going to work really hard, and then we come home tired and drained if we don't understand how to handle these transitions through the day. Because a lot of your energy is wasted in those transitions because you didn't do your programming in your brain. Your brain has to work harder than it needs to, creates a lot of emotions that you didn't need, and it wastes a lot of energy. It makes it hard for you to make clear, fast decisions. You guys getting this? So you will save energy, you will get more done, you will enjoy the process more, and you won't be so burned out at the end of the day when you start to know how to handle these transitions better. And there's other things that I do when it comes to energy. Like, I had to do this for months to program my brain. I would set an alarm at certain times throughout the day. And that alarm would be a trigger, and I would label it certain things. I would have one alarm that would be labeled powerful, loving, and inspiring. 3 words that I want to describe. I want people to feel that in me. When people experience me, I want them to feel that I'm loving, that I'm inspiring, that I'm, what was my other one? I forgot already. Loving, inspiring, and
Powerful.
what was it?
Powerful.
Powerful. What the heck? Powerful. I always start with powerful. Thank you. So setting clear intentions and creating the right energy quickly. So when you say, maybe some of you don't have this anymore because you used to go to the office and then go home, right? Right now, a lot of people are working from home, but let's just think about that transition though. Even if you are working and need to go into the next room to now be done with work and be part of your family, right? You need to have that transition and you need to program your brain right. So that way you bring the right energy into that place with your kids. So now you're creating a space, an environment, or with your family or with your partner or with your friends. Like setting the right intention is going to help you to create the right energy to bring into that place to create the best experience so that you can create a better quality of life because it's more intentional. Otherwise, guess what happens, guys? You guys have good intentions to have a good life. You have good intentions to create good memories. You have good intentions to make people feel loved. You have good intentions to do nice things. You have good intentions. But that's very different than actually intentionally living. Like you got to program your brain, and this has to do with those transitions. So number one is set your right intention and set the right energy, create the right energy. So right now we're going to go into this meeting where I'm going to be training you. You're here to do what? What's your intention? Why are you here? What do you want to get from this session? Now, in order to get that, in order to achieve why you're here, what kind of energy do you need to bring? What kind of energy do you need to have in your body right now? You know, now in order to have that energy, what do you need to do to create it? Whatever that is for you. So you need to do that. So go ahead and do that now. Let's go. Don't take long. Don't overthink it. Don't get in your head. Do something to create some energy, right? So the energy that you need to be able to get all that you need here. You know, you need focus energy. You need clear mind here, right? You need to be fully present. I mean, like for me, like I'll do like some squats. Right? I can do some arm circles and until I get a burn. Like if you do something physical, like to where you start to burn that muscle, like it makes you very present, you know, like if you do 20 squats, all of a sudden you're not thinking about where you were or what you need to do. You're thinking about, man, my legs are starting to freaking burn and I'm losing my breath. So you get very present when you start doing things like that, and it helps you, right? And it generates an energy, it interrupts. Like even for me, I program my brain for a clap to be a trigger for me. It shoots energy into my body now when I'm like, like even the noise, or come on, and energy just shoots through my body because those are like triggers, right? Because I've done that so much, like I'm in a high peak state where I feel good, I'm happy, and I'll do that to kind of create that trigger, like when I'm feeling good. So now next time when I'm not feeling so motivated, when I'm not feeling so good, I'm like, I'm not gonna let this last a long time. So I'm gonna interrupt it by come on, come on. So I even set alarms to make me do that. I was doing this every hour. Every hour my alarm would go off and I would get up and then get back down and get back to work. Just like that. I have my team do that in the office. They'll do that. I do different things to make them get up. Like if they have a sale, we have a bell. They ring the bell. Everybody gets up and cheers. Even that little thing is getting them to interrupt what they were doing and create a high quality energy to go back into work and be more productive. It's a healthy type of distraction. It's generating energy. It's intentional. Right? So what would happen if you did this throughout the day? What if you were more intentional in the transitions? You program your brain to release tension. Okay, you got clear on what you wanted to, whatever, even if it was a 5-minute meeting, something that's not so important, doesn't matter. Get in the programming of doing it for every interaction. And you set your intention and create the type of energy that you need. Do whatever you need to do. Create the energy that you need. Is it lower energy for this goal? Okay, then bring it down. Is it higher? Okay, then bring it up. Is it more serious? Okay, then make it more serious. Is it more happy? Then make it match the message. Right? But be intentional, because this is creating your future, guys. This is intentionally living. That's number one. Okay? So as we're going, be aware of your energy. If you start feeling yourself get comfortable, or interrupt it, get up. You know, you want to make sure that you're absorbing all that you can here, because again, you want to meet your intention of why you're here, your goal. You got it? Okay, so after I go through these different things, at the end, I'm going to bring it all together and we're going to do an exercise. Okay, now we're going to be talking about growth. So this whole program is to help you to grow, right? To grow in those areas that you chose. You know, we got into the Life Mastery Planner, where in the beginning of this program, we measured all 10 areas of your life. Remember that chart, the circle chart? And you measured on a scale of 1 to 10, this is how I'm doing in these 10 areas. Here's the big picture of where my life is, okay? So now let me look at these areas that need more attention, that need more love. And then you guys pick 3 areas. Okay, for this next week, I'm going to focus on these 3 areas. And for this program, we're going to be focusing on those for this program, right? For the 8 weeks. I want you guys to see the growth here, but you're also going to see the other areas also expand, because these 3 areas are expanding. You'll see how they impact all the other areas. It's so cool. All right. So you'll see how as we measure this, it's helping to give you clarity of where you are. Okay, so that's what this helps you to do. So we've already done hold on. So when you're setting your intention, when it comes to growth, when this mindset mentorship program, it's about the growth and creating a structure and a system to help you to consistently go towards that growth. And there is a process in your growth. And in order for you to not get discouraged and lose your motivation, you need to understand the process of it and see where you are. So you're not expecting to feel something that you're not supposed to feel in that phase of your growth. That makes sense? So that way you're not deceived by your emotions. You're like, oh, okay, it's because I'm in this phase, so I know what to do to get to the next phase, so I can get to this place where I feel confident about what I'm doing. Because that's the end result, where I want you guys to get in all these different areas. Even though you're learning new skills, new things, applying new things, I want you to get to the place where you to know, to do, and you grow so much where it's like, I'm confident about this. Like, I got this. I got this area of my life. I got this system. I understand how it works now. Like, I'm confident as I'm doing it. Like, that's where I want you to go. And you need to understand the phases, the process of growth, so that you know where you are. And then we get a plan of what you need to do to get you to the next place. Okay. And we're going to apply all of this to your goals. So you're going to have your charts, the ones with all 3 of the areas that you're going to be focusing on. You're going to have those in front of you, because we're going to see where you are in those 3 areas in this growth process. Okay. So here's the first, I know it's number 2, but this is the first part of the growth process. Okay. So yes, get intention. Get intention, set intention, create the right energy. And now let's get clarity, even more clarity on exactly what we want to accomplish here. See, the end result is to feel confident, like man, I'm dominating, like I got this down, and it's producing results, right? And you have this powerful momentum, like that's the end result of what we want to be in these 3 areas that you guys focus on. But in order to get there, you have to know where you're going, how you're going to get there, when you're going to get there by, who you're going to get there with, how you're going to measure yourself as you're going to make sure what you're doing is working. Like, that's clarity. How the heck are you going to do this? Like, you got to have clarity. And that's exactly what the goal tool is about. You guys have that out? in front of you? So remember I told you that not only was this planner created like intentionally, strategically with the system in order, but also this program. So as you can see, like in the beginning of this program, we had you do these things, right? To do all the exercises here. Why? Because it's helping you to get clarity, right? Because I know the process of growth and I know how to get you where you want to go. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Even though we have a group full of different people, different backgrounds, different beliefs, different goals, you know, different ideas of what success is, like a variety of people, right? And I know that this is still going to work for all of you because it's just a truest truth. So getting clarity in these things is going to help you to know your target. It's going to help you to know exactly where to put your energy and where to put your time. So that's what this does. Clarity. If you don't have clarity, you're not going to be able to commit fully to what you want to do. If you're not fully clear, you're not going to fully commit. Because you're not fully clear on what you're going to do. Like, it's like saying, hey, do you want to come help me out, next Friday? You're like, oh yeah, sure. You don't really know what you're committing to. So that's not going to be like a really full commitment. Oh yeah, sure. Because there's no clarity. But if you say, hey, can you come help me, next Friday, we're going to be doing some moving furniture. So now that I have clarity, I know I'm going to take a little bit of commitment. Now I can commit to it. If people don't have clarity, it's hard to commit to something you're not clear about. If you don't have clarity, this is why a lot of people deal with procrastination. A lot of times people they lose motivation because of lack of clarity. See, a lot of negative emotions come to you because of lack of clarity. You understand that? Because look, if you're not clear on how you're going to get there, but you want to go anyways, your brain's going to be freaking out. It doesn't have the program, right? So it's going to be freaking out and your brain wants to protect you. It's the fight or flight mechanism. So it's like, hey, Richard, are you sure you want to go over there? Because you've never been there. And shit, I don't have any information to pull up to help protect you here. Like your brain's going to look for excuses and rights and reasons not to go towards those things that you want to achieve because you haven't got enough clarity. People they procrastinate, they become indecisive because they're not clear on what's going on or what's going to happen or how they're going to get there. So they just rather not make that decision because they don't want to fail. If you're not clear, you're going to be afraid to make a decision. If you're not clear, fear comes. Think about it. Like those things like, okay, I really want to do this. But if you're not clear about it, your brain's not going to be so like, all right, let's go. It's going to be like, how? Let's talk about this. Your brain needs to talk about it first. And then you need to tell your brain, no, we're not going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. This is not, we're going to talk about it because you will talk yourself out of it. You'll look for excuses and right, especially if it's inconvenient and uncomfortable. You got to just tell your brain, this is what you're going to do. Your brain is a tool, very powerful. And it's like this garden that is not picky on what seeds you choose to plant there, guys. It's not going to be like, hey, Adriana, Eddie, Perla, this is a negative seed that you have here. Are you sure you want to plant this? Because I detected a negative seed. This negative seed right here is going to produce a negative emotion for you and then a negative behavior. Are you sure you want to plant this? Your brain does not do that. Your brain just takes whatever that you put there. It's not picky. It's not going to judge whatever you choose to put there. And the more you put it there, the more you set your mind on it, the more it's going to entertain it, the more emotion it's going to bring up. So our mindset and what we're putting there is so important, guys. So look, a lot of times people quit. Why? Because they lose motivation. They lose motivation. Why? Because they're not clear on their motive. Motivation. If you lost motivation, it's because you've lost clarity on your motive. So think about that. Be practical. Man, I need some more motivation in this area of my life. Awesome. You can create it right now. That's amazing, right? Isn't that encouraging? Isn't that empowering to know that you're in charge of that you're the power plant, that you get to choose how you're going to feel, that you don't have to wait for a better day or for a better day or a better weather, or, for somebody to be nice to you, or, somebody give you a nice text message that says, hey, good job, I noticed. Like, we don't have to wait for that, right? Because you know how to generate it yourself, and you know how to maintain it yourself, because you understand the phases of growth. And this first one called this clarity of motives. Okay, this is where I'm going. Now, why am I going there? The more clear I am on my motives, my reasons, my whys, guess what? The more motivated I'm going to be to go there. But if I'm not clear, when I get time, maybe later, tomorrow, right? We start to look for things, guys. I'm telling you, you start to procrastinate. You put it on the side. You don't get done what you need to get done because you don't have freaking clarity. Have clarity. This is the work that needs to be sent down, even if it's not fun, even if you don't like this part. Some people don't like this part. Like this planner, it's so powerful, but it's not easy to use because you got to sit there and use it. Every night, you got to sit there and do it. Every morning, you got to get up and freaking do it. It's work, but I'm telling you, it works when you work it. Like, man, it keeps you locked on what you want to accomplish. Like, there's no room for not getting it done. You will get it done when you get clarity and these other phases that we're going to go through right now. And this helps you to do all of that. Okay, so next one. Guess what? So now that I have clarity, guess what? Oh, I see. I can see what I need to do here. Man, I can see how much this is going to cost. I can see how much energy this is going to cost. I can see how much time this is going to cost. I can see how much, stress this is going to cause. Like, I can start to look at that and see it. And now that I created it, right? Because in my mind, getting that clarity, I'm creating it in the invisible first, right? I'm kind of assembling, like a business plan is you assembling your business on paper. You're kind of assembling it. It's like building a house. People don't build a house until they've already built it, right? They don't build a house until they've already built it. Yes, right? They do a plan. They draw it out. They scale it. And if it's a big building, they might even do a freaking model about it. But they build it before they build it. So it's the same thing with your goals, with your achievements. You need to build it before you build it. So that's what this getting the clarity is. It's you building it before you build it. And before you start taking action, you're creating leverage in yourself to fully commit, to get it into your brain where now you have this program of commitment because your brain knows exactly where you're going, how you're going to get there, why you're going to go there, who is going there, when you're going to get there by. Like, your brain sees that the program is in. So now it can be accepted, which means you can now commit because you're going to be more committed to something you've helped create. So you've already helped to create it in the invisible, in your mind. And the more details that you see, this is why we talked about the visualization, right? That visualizing that, seeing it with much detail as possible, because now this is deepening your desire to achieve that. It's creating more emotions attached to it. You're more clear on your motivation because you see it, you're beholding it. And whatever you behold, you're going to become. Whatever you behold, you're going to become. I keep looking at it. I keep focusing on it. That's my prize. Wherever your focus goes, that's where your attention and your power goes, right? That focus creates feeling. So I'm looking at this stuff because I have clarity, and it creates a very powerful commitment. Very powerful. Now, if you need help with more commitment, if you need help with more motivation, if you need help with more programming, then I created a system for you. The leverage links. If you're feeling like, man, I started off, but I'm not feeling it right now. You guys ever get there? Yeah, right? I get there. This is the thing. The ones who are more successful are the things who interrupt that shit the fastest. You're going to feel like that. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get discouraged. Don't be like, oh, why? Like, not just, okay, I don't want to feel like this, so I'm just going to interrupt it. Because this is the thing. Here, this is a little a little deep in the mindset. I don't want to go this way. I mean, for where I'm going, but I want you to think about this. This is another little, this will be free. Okay. This is a little gem, a little treasure, free, a little golden nugget right here. So when we're talking about mindset, like you have to be very aggressive in interrupting negative emotions. This is why, especially for you women, this happens to you more because women are emotionally rich. God made you that way. That's a good thing, right? You bear children, like it's a beautiful thing. But as long as you have emotions and emotions don't have you. Now, one of the things is if you're sensitive to emotions, this is the thing. If you can go into places, onto a phone call, into an encounter with a group, into the grocery store, into Starbucks, whatever, you can go in feeling good, right? You have peace, you have joy, you're excited. You go, you're in line or you're walking around, you're doing something. All of a sudden, you feel anxiety. All of a sudden, you feel worry, right? And you're like, why do I feel like that? Because you just feel something and you weren't feeling like that just a couple minutes ago. All of a sudden you feel like that, you feel this emotion, and then you ask yourself, why do you feel like that? And guess what your brain does? It starts to look for reasons why you could feel like that. Do you think it's going to find reasons? Yeah, your brain can normally find a reason. No matter what kind of freaking emotion you're feeling, your brain can find some kind of reason. So this is what happens. A lot of times you go into these places, you feel somebody else's emotion. It's not even yours. But you start to think about it, and then you find reasons why you could feel that way. So now you agree with it, and you empower that which you agree with, and now you walk out with this anxiety, this sadness, this whatever that was never yours, but now it is yours because you agreed with it. So this is another reason why we need to be very fast and aggressive in interrupting low negative emotions, right? Be quick, be aggressive. So if you want to create more commitment, more motivation, go through these 10 links. Look at number 1, have a clear goal in mind and visualize it from start to finish. That's what we're talking about here, right? Doing the goal, visualizing. Number 2, write your goal out in clear step-by-step way. The goal tool with the squares helps you to do that. 3, what are your beliefs about this goal and are they healthy? Okay, so if your goal is, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to, hit these numbers, or I'm going to get a closer relationship with God and my spirituality, or I'm going to get a closer relationship with my partner. Like, what are your beliefs about that? Like, what do you believe about it? And are they healthy beliefs? If you're going to better your partnership, what does it mean to better your relationship with your partner? What does that mean? What are your beliefs about it? You need to get clarity to be more committed so that you can create, right? What does that mean to have a better relationship with your partner? Some of you guys have your goals of like, well, okay, career and business. Okay, what about it? What specifically do you want to get done in these next, 6-7 weeks? What do you want to accomplish? What about it? What do you want to get done in your career and business in this next week? Like, this is where you need to get more clear and start thinking, okay, what are my beliefs about this? What do I need to do? Is it important? Are they healthy? Okay, even values. Values are emotional states. Like, why is it important to me? Why is it going to make me feel good to make those phone calls? Normally those phone calls don't make me feel good. So why the heck is that going to make me feel good, right? You have to get a new program, a new tape. You have to change the tape. Look. Can you see this? It says, change begins here. And it's a guy changing the tape in his head. I don't know if you guys know what a tape is. It's a cassette tape, like a CD. It's that's where change happens right there. You got to change it right here in your mind. So, okay, get clear on what your beliefs are about this thing you want to achieve. Okay, what do I believe about this and why do I believe about it? Why do I believe that? What are my values? Why does it make me feel good to accomplish these things? And what does it make me feel? The more clear are there, the more leverage I'm creating. 5, share your goal with other people, the people that you love. Hey, I'm going to be doing this. Check this out. Like, share it with other people. And it helps you to, again, program your brain and keep yourself more accountable. Number 6, Okay, what kind of strengths, talents, abilities, and passions do you have right now that will help you to achieve this goal? This is you just sitting down, putting in the work to assemble it in the mind first, to create more clarity, to create more so that you can commit, so you create more motivation. That's what this does. Number 7, what are the benefits of you achieving this goal? Okay, so those things that you have, those main goals, those goal sheets with the squares, see yourself accomplishing those things and what benefits are you going to get? Okay, so if you get healthier, what are the benefits? And be specific, like, man, I'm going to feel good. Okay, what do you mean? What does feel good mean? What does that look like on your face? What kind of body motion expressions are you going to do when you like picture yourself like, man, I feel good and confident. Like see yourself feeling what you know you're going to feel when you get to that place that you're going to get, like create that emotion, because that's creating leverage in yourself, because you're programming your brain and putting good feelings, good emotion attached to it. Okay. So do that with your benefits. This is the part of the visualization that I want you guys to do every night. This is a part of it. So another thing, a good motivator is, okay, what are the consequences? Ooh, if you don't do it. If you don't do this, if you don't eat right, if you don't do the exercise, where are you going to be in a month or 2 months? You're going to gain more. Those clothes are going to be fitting you tight. Ooh, picture yourself putting on those jeans and you're like, oh shit, isn't it? Trying to put those jeans on, right? And picture yourself struggling and how that feels and be like, shit, I don't know how to go buy freaking new jeans and waste money. No, I need to stop eating those freaking bread and that food late night and stop the comfort eating because I'm so stressed. Start thinking of yourself going through that and not wanting to feel that, because now you're telling your brain, hey, brain, look, if you come up with excuses, to try to get out of it, look at this is where we're going to end up. We're going to be, overweight. We're going to be feeling like shit and looking like shit. Like, come on, this is where you're going to end up. We don't want to be here. And then your brain's like, oh, hell no, I don't want to be there. No, okay. So this pain has purpose now. All right, Richard, I agree with you. We're more committed now because now you've made it clear for me, Richard. Thank you for doing that, because you made my decision to be so easy now. Now I'm going to encourage you to go that way because now I understand. You guys got that? Next one, set reminders, alarms. This is another thing I was sharing about the phone. And then number 10, share it with coaches. We got coaches up in here. So here is a programming system for you to help you to create more leverage, more commitment, because again, you're going to be more committed to what you help create. And this is you assembling it, building it before you build it. You guys got it? Remember, we're talking about the phases of growth, and then we're going to apply this to the goals that you have to see where you're at and what you need to do to get you moving. All right. Any questions? You guys want to say anything so far? I'm going to go to the next one. You good?
Richard,
Go for it.
I just want to get clear. So intention and energy, that was outside of the parts of the growth process. Is that correct?
So we're talking about life mastery, right? And the life mastery, to be able to grow in those areas consistently. That's what I say life mastery is, because it's not about perfection. It's about consistent growth, right? So this is about growth and the phases of growth. So in the big picture, there's to know, to do, to be, right? In the big picture of that's how the growth happens. First, you need to know, and then you need to do it. And then it starts to become integrated into your life. And that's change, that's growth, that's transformation, right? And then another thing to understand in the big picture of growth is setting the intentions and the right energy in transitions. So the to know, to do, to be, this is the macro in growth, right? Looking at the big picture. And then going to like the what is it? The micro? Yeah, the micro. The macro and the micro is the simple transitions that we do all day, every day. Like it's bunch of those, right? So I'm giving you the big picture and the little picture. Now I'm going to make it very practical with these different steps. The first one is, okay, get clarity. This is the growth process. The clarity, because I have clarity, I'm now going to be more committed to it. And now because I have clarity and commitment, guess what? I'm going to have the courage to start taking action. A lot of times people don't take action. Why? Because they're not committed to it. And why aren't they committed to it? Because they don't have enough clarity. Right? Because a lot of times in the things that we're doing, come on, let's be honest, it needs courage. We need courage. What does that mean to have courage? What does that mean? You guys know? What does it mean to have courage? Huh?
To go after something, even with fear.
Even with fear. So
Yeah.
we're going to have fear, guys. You guys are emotional beings. We're going to have fear. It's going to come up. And especially when you're going to do something that you haven't done before. Again, remember, your brain has that mechanism to protect you. Right? So sometimes, like when you're like, okay, we're going to, Richard told us to start this visualizing thing. Your brain's going to be like, what? That's kind of weird. You're going to do what? You're going to have me visualize what? And there's going to be some resistance there, right? So we have to continue to, we're not going to take action if we don't have that clarity. We're not going to commit to doing it. So the more clarity you get in these things, the more committed you're going to be able to have. And then all of a sudden, okay, I'm clear. Oh, I get it. I know what I need to do. I haven't done it before. I've never been there before. But because I've sat here and put in the work to get some clarity, I can commit to okay, I'm going to go and take some action now. Yeah, I haven't done this before. But even though I have this fear of because I haven't done this before, I have enough clarity and commitment. And now I've created this courage to begin to take this action and actually start to execute. A lot of times people, they just think about how much this happens, guys. They start talking about things, having conversations, they get an idea, right? And they get passionate and fired up and excited about this idea. And then this idea just goes nowhere. Why? They never take action on it. Why? Because they never got enough clarity, didn't attach enough emotion to it. They didn't take action on it quick enough. A lot of these things, we got to take action on it quick to get it going. Otherwise, our brain's going to be like, nah. So how do we do it? We get that clarity. We start to create it so we can commit to it. That's going to create this courage in us because even though we never been there, I put in the work to get clarity. And I know why I'm going there. I know the benefits at the end. I know the consequences if I don't. I'm sharing this, I'm doing all this programming, you're going to go that way because you've created all this clarity for yourself. So you're going to have enough courage to take action. And that's when you start to actually get the results that you're looking for. And that's super motivating. Woo! When you start to man, I'm scared, you need to make some phone calls or something. And you haven't called these type of people, or you haven't gone into this, in this market, and you're like, oh shit, I'm going to, and you do it. And maybe you didn't do perfect, but you did it, right? And you're like, shit, I could have did it better. And then you start, you adjust, right? You learn more. It shows you what kind of capabilities you need to learn, because you're not going to learn how to adjust unless you're making decisions and taking action and doing, right? You start to see the things that you're weak in, the things that you need to develop, and things you need to strengthen, the things that you need to affirm, to make more firm, to affirm, to make stronger, to help you to go towards in this process of growth, to get you to this next place, which is after capability, which is this level of feeling confident about what you're doing, about this new thing, this new journey, this new habit, this new behavior, this new goal that you're going to achieve. So clarity, this is what I want. We did that in our exercises, right? We built it so that we can create it, and we committed to it, right? And now we need to see, okay, take action. We need to start doing, okay, what are you going to start to do in these things? That's what I'm saying. Okay, what are those in the 4 things in the squares in the goal tool? You guys have it right now in front of you? Okay, those 4 things that are there, what do you need to start developing in yourself to help you to do those things? because that's what capability is about. You developing your capability, the skills that you need to build right now to help you to achieve those things that you need to do. So when you look at the goal tool, right? When you look at these things, okay, how am I going to do this? Right? You have the 4 things on top. The first square underneath says, how are you going to do this? You wrote down some things of how you're going to accomplish that, right? Now, what can you develop in yourself to be better at that? What skills? What things can you get better in to help you to move forward towards those things you want to achieve? Because this is you being intentional, like, okay, I know I need to make more sales on my phone calls. So what am I going to do? I'm going to read some sales books. I'm going to take some sales courses. I'm going to, learn some new techniques on how to close or how to get leads, whatever. You need to just keep developing yourself on purpose. So like I always tell people, whether it's your business or anything that you're doing, like it's coming from you and the quality of things that you have. So it's work harder on yourself than you do on your own business, on your own career. Work harder on yourself, because that's going to make you more successful in your business. It's going to make you more successful in your marriage. It's going to make you more successful as a parent because you have more to give. Right? So develop yourself. What skills do you need to develop, guys, to help you to accomplish these goals? Right? So maybe it's listening to some podcasts, throughout the day, or you block a piece of time out, because I know we're all busy, but you're doing something. Even if it's 15, 20 minutes, as I eat, I'm going to watch a YouTube thing of Richard Martinez to show me, how to invest or how to build my leadership skills. Or I'm going to listen to a podcast from It's Richard Martinez as I'm going on my run or doing my workout. It's making that time to make sure you're developing yourself. You're getting some new knowledge, some new understanding, so that you can apply it into these things you want to achieve. This is a part of the mindset. You setting your mind the right way on these things you want to achieve. So clarity, right? Now that I have clarity, I created it with the clarity. I created it in the imagination. So now that I created it, I can commit to it, right? Now that I have this commitment, now I have more courage to start taking action. And as I'm taking action, as I'm doing, I'm going to fumble around. I'm going to mess up a little bit. I'm going to say something wrong. And that's where it's going to show me like, oh, awesome. Remember how I told you got to program your brain a different way? So it's like if you're walking and you trip, like, oh, it's not like, oh, you dumbass, why'd you do that? That was so stupid. Look at how embarrassing. Like, it's not like that. It's more like this. It's like trip, like, boom, like, oh, let me look at what I tripped on. Let me learn from this. Awesome. Why? Because I'll never trip on that again. That's good news. That's good news, right? I just became wiser. I just became smarter, more intelligent. I just my mind just opened more. I just got more clarity. So that just showed me like, okay, I need to have more capability. I need to watch where I'm walking better. Okay, how can I build that skill? How can I become more aware of my surroundings? Now, all of a sudden, that problem is no longer a problem, because I created knowledge and a system to where that's no longer a problem. And now I can advance in my life. If you make this a habit with everything that you're doing, man, you're going to be constantly growing. And with growth comes happiness. So you're going to constantly be happy. So look at those areas. Look at your goal tools. Look at all 3 areas that you're focusing on. What things you need to develop, guys? What skills? And don't overload yourself and like, oh shit, I have like to freaking go back to school and like, no, just don't overload it. Just get a couple things that you can start with. And how are you going to do that? You're going to read a blog, you're going to watch, listen, talk to somebody, do something to build yourself in that area. So, all right, so you guys have what you can start to work on to build your capabilities, to set you out for success for those 3 areas? You guys got that? Yes? All right. I just realized that says 2. Sorry about that. So this is where we want, this is the goal. Like in all the things that you want to achieve, all the things you want to get to, all the goals that you want to accomplish, like we want to get to the place where we're doing those things, that we're in those positions and we're feeling confident about what we're doing, right? Like if your goal is to like build your business, you don't want to just build your business. You want to get to the place where you're like, you don't have like the business doesn't have you, like you have the business and you're confident about what it's going, it's on a system, it's doing something, it's building, like you want to feel confident about it. You want to get to that place, not where you're like, shit, like, oh, how am I trying to figure this out? I'm learning this, I'm learning that. Oh my gosh, now I don't know how to do this. And you're kind of like going through that building capabilities phase, right? And that's a phase of it. That's normal. So you guys need to understand these phases, because if you're going through that phase of trying to build capabilities to learn what the heck you're doing, you don't need to be discouraged and quit because you don't know how to do it yet. Just know that you're in that phase of building capabilities for that area. You're not going to feel confident. You can't get to this phase of confidence without going through the other ones. You can't skip. Okay, this is a universal growth process. You cannot skip. You're not going to get, really good at something to where you're already confident until you know what that even looks like and how to do it. So you have to get clarity first, right? Once you have that clarity of what you're going to do, then that's when you can commit to doing something about it and actually having the courage to start, practicing it or doing it and taking action. Like you have to go through these phases, these steps of growth. And if you just start thinking about it, right, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, but you don't do anything, you don't get to that place where you have enough courage
And you have
to take
clarity
action,
what you're going to do.
it's not going to go anywhere, right? So confidence, this place of confidence, this place, like picture yourself in each of those areas right now. Look at those goals that you have. See yourself getting to that place, accomplishing it, doing it with confidence. What does that look like? What does that look like on your face as you're doing that with confidence, where you're like, I freaking got this down. Like, this is even easy. Like, man, I know, like, I can predict. Like, I got control over this shit. Like, man, this feels good at doing this. Like, I just got control. I'm dominating. It's growing. I have a handle on this. Like, what does it look like on you in these specific areas that you have written down on your papers of these things that you want to accomplish, these areas that you want to better? What does it look like to be in confidence in those areas? See yourself there. See the face you're making, how you're walking. You see yourself walking a little different maybe, right? With little like, dang, I feel good. Like, all those things that I want, that I was setting my mind to, like I'm freaking doing it and I'm doing it well and I'm enjoying the process, man. The life that I wanted to create, I freaking created it, man. This feels so good. See yourself doing it. Like, man, look at me. Like, oh, I lost the weight that I said that I would lose. Like, I've been eating better. Like I said, I've been drinking my water, been exercising. Man, I feel good. I look better in my clothes. People are complimenting me. I feel like, see yourself feeling confident about that, right? And feel the emotion that's attached to that. See yourself feeling confident about running your business or businesses. See yourself like that you already went through this thing and created your systems, you have it going, like, and see your business just kind of running and clients coming in and you taking care of them. See the money coming in, the cash flow, see the impact that you're making, see the growth in your business, see how you're bringing other people with you, how you're contributing, like see yourself doing it with confidence, with joy on your face, with certainty, where you're like, man, I freaking got this. There is nothing that's going to stop me. And it's not because you're in denial. It's not because there's no problems. It's just because you have the right mindset that says, even if there is a problem, I'm going to overcome it because I understand the growth process. I understand that if it starts to struggle there, I know I just need to get some clarity. I know I can just go through this phase again so I can get into this place of feeling confident again. You guys getting this? This helps you to see where you're at. So in those areas, it kind of takes some pressure off of you too, right? Like, because it gives you clarity and it gives you like knowing where you're at, what to do, what adjustments to make. Because if you look at those things that you want to accomplish and see how some of your numbers went down, right? Or stood the same. So you're not feeling very confident about that right now. Right? Because you want those areas to grow. And when you get those things to a 10, you're going to be feeling a different level of confidence, right? So that's where we want you to get to. So I want you to think, okay, well, I'm at this number. What do I need to do to get to a 10? Be specific. See yourself doing those things. And this is where we need to start taking action. This is you starting to take action. We're going to get more aggressive this week. Do you guys know what you need to do? Because if there's an area where you're not feeling confident about, because of what I just shared with you, you know what to do, where to go. Oh shit, okay, I'm not feeling confident about doing this or achieving this goal. I'm not feeling confident about this area of my life. Okay, what do I need to do? Let me go in this structure, this phase. Okay, do I have clarity on what I want here? Do I have clarity? Let me go through this goal tool and fill it out so I can get clarity here, so I can create it, right? So I can start to get recommitted to this, get refocused, and start to create courage for me to start taking action here again. If you're not feeling confident there, you need to know where you are on this phase so that you can start to do what you need to do to get back into this place of feeling confident again. You're in charge of it, not anybody else. We are in charge, and that's good news. That's awesome that our happiness, our success is in our hands. Like that, the power is in our hands. We don't give that power. We're powerful people. We're not powered as victims where other people can push our buttons and trigger us and cause us to have a bad day or be offended or feel rejected. No, we're different people here. This is the now rise type of mindset here where, you know who you are, you know where you're going, why you're going to get there. So like people don't have that power. You don't have buttons to push. Like you're so clear on where you're going. Your yes to where you're going is so loud that it's an automatic no to everything else, guys. Like we need to get to this place. I want you to get to this place where you're feeling confident in all these most important areas of your life for longer periods of time. And as soon as you feel like you're not feeling good or motivated or confident about that area, as soon as you feel it, you know that something is not okay, it's not right, it's not how you want to live. And you make a decision, boom. Like I feel my energy low, I feel this not confident. Okay, boom, I'm going to interrupt this shit real quick. I'm going to create clarity. I'm going to create whatever I need. I'm going to go through these phases as quickly as I can to get to this place of confidence again, because that's where I was created to live. That's where I'm going to live my life in every area and all these most important. I want to live in this place of confidence, of knowing that I'm where I'm going, why I'm going to get there, how I'm going to get there. I have this confidence and it feels amazing, right? That's what we want. So apply this to all 5 of your goals. Or apply all these 5 to your goals. So you guys have 3 main areas with the 4 main things you need to do. You guys already broke that down. Now, where are you in those 3 areas? Look at one area. Maybe it's your business and finances. How are you feeling there? Are you feeling confident? If not, why not? Do you have enough clarity there of where you're going, where you're going to get there, when you're going to get there by? You already did the goal tool, so you should have some pretty good clarity. Maybe you need to get even more detail. That's okay. Do the links of leverage, right? Are you committed to this? Okay, what are those simple action steps that you need to start taking? That's in the clarity, that's in the how, that's the win, right? So now you need to take some action, have the courage to take action, even with fear, even with not having such certainty, or you don't know exactly how it's going to go, but you have courage, which means you take action even with the fear. You need to start doing. You have to do. You're not going to get any results without any action. Okay, you already have enough clarity. You have your commitment there. Okay, let's move to the next one and start freaking taking action. Execute. Do something with what you learned. And as you're going, you're going to start to see where you're weak. right? And so see where you are in these areas right here. Where are you? Are you in the clarity stage? Are you need more commitment? Are you in the taking action stage? You need more courage? Are you in the, okay, I am taking, action. I am having enough courage to do something, but I need to develop my skills. Okay, what skills do I need to develop? Or are you in this level of confidence? Because if you're in that level of confidence, guess what you can do? Okay, now that I'm in this level of confidence, how am I going to contribute? How am I going to empower other people to do the same? Now you go into contribution. Now that's a part of your purpose, and that creates high energy as well. Okay. You guys understanding how this works here? We're talking about mindset, right? This is a mindset mentorship program. So it's not just, I don't want to just teach you guys concepts. I want to show you the phases so you can think through yourself. That's the mentorship. Like, I want to not just like take you through a program, I want to walk you through it and show you what I'm doing, like show you exactly why this works. So that way you're being mentored in it so that you know how to do it for yourself and you can even do it for other people. So can you guys see where you guys are here? I'm going to have a couple of people share. Go ahead and if you see like this, where you're at in those areas, I want you to share one of those areas. Go ahead and unmute yourself and share. Okay, here's one area that I'm focusing on. And according to this phases of growth, this is where I'm at and this is what I'm going to do. The things that he was learning, his brain put those things that he was learning in his brain, right? Like he stored information that he's learned today. And right now, all those connections came together and created a new revelation for him personally, right? So it all came together for his situation, that what's going to work for him. Boom, clarity. Like, oh shit, like I just see like this thing that was complicated. All of a sudden, everything is simple now. Everything came into alignment. And if I focus on this, I can see everything else falling in there. So like, man, that takes some pressure off of me. And man, now I'm feeling more clear and more motivated to start taking some action in that area. Now you're more clear on what capability to build there, which already starts this a little bit of confidence in you because you're on the right track because these phases of growth. Woohoo! Look at that. Your thoughts. So with your thoughts, you guys, your emotions are, a lot of it are coming from different things. Okay. It's not just only your thoughts. That is one way, but your emotion also creates emotion. The way you're sitting, the face that you're making, the way you're walking, the way you're standing, that creates a certain type of emotion as well. So be conscious of that. The things that you're saying, the things that you're thinking, your facial expressions and your body language, all this creates certain types of energy, emotions. Okay, so it's not just your thinking. So get all those 4 things to be generating on purpose, because remember, you're the power plant. You get to choose, guys. So when the most powerful thing is that self-awareness. So as soon as you feel an emotion that you don't like, just be aware of that and be like, oh yeah, I don't like this and I don't have to be here long. How long should I be here? How long should I stay in this anger? How long should I stay in this being offended or feeling rejected? How long should I stay in this? 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 days? Like we need to kind of settle that in our minds of like, how long am I going to let this go? Because my emotions are determining the quality of my life. So do I want to stay in this anxiety for a whole day? Even though we have a reason to feel hurt or mad, like you choosing not to be hurt and mad doesn't mean you agree with the person who did that thing to you. It doesn't mean you're like okay with it now just because you're choosing to be happy now. You know what I'm saying? Like don't let them determine how your day is going to go now. So we need to get more aggressive in our thoughts, taking them captive. If we're having a wrong emotion that we don't want, get aggressive and kick that shit out. It's like it's a thief. It's a thief that just came into your home to steal one of the most important, valuable things that you have in your home. And that's your peace. That's your happiness. And there's a thief that's coming there to steal it. And you need to get it out, pull your strap, pull your gun, get gangster, get your earrings out, pull your hair back, get gangster and kick it out. All right. All right. Any questions with any of this? Any questions? Feedback, comments?
I do, Dr. Richard. I do have an issue with confidence and movement. And I've been facing this since I had my youngest child.
Uh-huh.
And the reason why I could analyze why I don't have enough confidence is because I have fear. And
Fear of
what I
what?
want to know is, how do I get over that
Fear of what?
fear of maybe doing what I want to do and forgetting my responsibilities? Like, for example, in the morning, I used to run, but I had somebody living with me who could take care of my kids in the morning.
Uh-huh.
Now I only live with my kids in the morning, and I can't live them alone, so I cannot run the block anymore.
Okay, is
That
running?
used to be a routine for me.
Okay, that's fine. So remember, guys, so it's a lot of times we get stuck in this routine that used to work for us and doesn't anymore. So just because it doesn't work anymore, don't get discouraged and be like, I used to do this, but now I can't because of this. Okay, you can't do that, but what can you do? You know, like, okay, you can't run around the block because your kids are there and you can't leave the house because, you know, that
They're
probably
young.
wouldn't be wise, right? So what can you do there? You know, you need to be creative, be resourceful. You know,
So I'm
otherwise
thinking like doing
we're not gonna do it. Otherwise, you're not gonna do it.
like home exercise.
Yeah. Look, let me tell you guys. This is another thing I can give you guys. I created a 12-week program on fitness, and I on purpose made the program to where you don't need equipment, you don't need a gym, you don't need a lot of space, and you don't need a lot of time. I take away all your excuses. You know, it's mostly body weight. You can do it on a chair. You can do it on the floor. You don't need a lot of space. You can do it in 15 minutes. Like, it's just doing it and being consistent, you know? Like, we don't need to be bodybuilders and be doing all kinds of crazy shit, you know, like but we need to do something and get moving, and we can build up to doing greater things. You know, so let's figure out what you can do. So can you commit to every day doing 30, 30, 30, 30, 30 squats, 30 push-ups, 30 sit-ups, 30 dips? You can do that, right? And if you feel good, do 50, but let's commit to 30. And if you feel good, do 50. But let's be consistent daily with this. And seriously, that will take you, like if you stretched and warmed up a little bit and did 30, 30, 30, 30, it'll take you 15, 20 minutes. And I would even time yourself so you can measure yourself. So you get the timer on your phone. After you stretch, you warm up a little bit, push go, and then you can even get a chair behind you. And okay, all right, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up. Do it as the speed that you can do it at, according to where you're at. And if you need to take a break because you're tired, then guess what? Take a break because you're tired, but the time keeps going. Right? Take a breather. Okay, push yourself. Finish the freaking 30. And then you go to the 30 push-ups. If you can't do a full push-up like flat, okay, do it on a table so where you're inclined. The more you can do it on a wall. The more you pick up the top part of your body, the easier the push-up gets. So you can do it on the wall to make it very easy for you, or a high table, right? The point is to do it. If you can't
Do you have like a video or a YouTube example where I could go off
yes,
by it? Okay.
yes. Mike, can you remember? I have office workouts. There's the Rise Academy. We created office workouts where I show you how to do workouts in the office. It's like basic things. You can do it on a desk, on a chair, you know, things like that. But I'll send you that stuff. So
Perfect.
just commit to doing that and you'll see a big change there.
Perfect. I'll add that part of my thing.
Awesome. Anybody else? How you guys enjoying this this program, guys? Are you guys enjoying it? This is the second session. We're starting. You feel the momentum getting here. Like now you're like everything's coming together right about this time of like okay, I see where we're going here. You know, for the next session. You know, because right here we're getting you set up, right? We have all your goals set up, and something that's important, even though maybe you're not focusing on your health, Health is really important to help you to achieve all your goals, no matter what those goals are. And this is a part of, mastering your life. This is a part of, the right mindset that you need to have to succeed in life. Remember to use us, okay? We're in the group there. We have, scheduled things, as you can see. We have our morning motivation, our midday refocus, our finish strong, and then the summary with Bridget. We're doing this on purpose to create structure to help you to program your brain. These are things you should be doing for yourself. Okay, you need to be your own coach, your own mentor, your own motivator. So yes, right now we're doing it for you, but learn how to do it for yourself as we're doing it for you. So every morning when you get that morning motivation, receive it and then boom, do it for yourself. Speak it over yourself, right? When that morning, that midday refocus, when Lamont's like, hey guys, here's your refocus, listen to it, receive it, turn it off, and then do it to yourself. Okay, brain, here's the midday refocus. This is what we need to do. We're going to finish this day strong. Like, you learn how to do that for yourself. This is the Mindset Mentorship Program. We want to mentor you how to do that yourself instead of just us having to do it for you in this program. Okay? So then same thing later. When Mike comes in, finish strong. Same thing, do it to yourself. When there's a summarize, like do it over yourself. This is a part of like that evening reflections. Powerful stuff here, guys. So make sure we're doing this as we're moving forward. We're going to get this momentum. You're going to see next week as we come back to measure, your numbers are going to jump up a lot more. Okay? So be clear. Be clear on what you need to do in this next week to get your numbers to a 10. What do you need to do? What do you need to do? See it. Freaking want it. Know that you're going to freaking accomplish it.